If house helps could win awards, Taye would have been a two-time champion, not for keeping them, but for changing them like outfits. Taye was the friend who looked like she had it all figured out. Sharp wig, sharper tongue, and a booming bank job that came with zero flexibility and maximum stress. Married with a 1-year-old son, and an army of ex-helps behind her. Lazy ones, dirty ones, hungry ones, thieves, you name it, she had posted it. I swear, I don't know where they manufacture these girls from, she grumbled one sunny afternoon during their usual Saturday catch-up. Her 3 closest friends, Abiodun, the patient stay-at-home mom, Shola, the lucky one whose help practically raised her child, and Effie, the freshly married, still glowing one, exchanged looks. Shola adjusted her wrapper and sipped her zobo. Taye, it's not the help, it's you. You too they expect perfection. Thank you. Madam Perfection has entered the chart. The same you that has had the same help since Iya Rainbow Market was built. Leave matter, laughter filled the circle. Taye eyes rolled. You people don't understand. My job doesn't allow mistakes. If I don't sign off on a client's report, billions are on hold. My baby no go feed on vibes and fate. And who told you house helps works on spreadsheet? Effie added, chuckling. Now human being them be, no be robot. But Effie, Abiodun cutting. You've never even tried to get help. And I won't, she snapped proudly. I prefer my wahala over stranger wahala. Abeg, leave me. Me, I don't have the strength again. Taye signed. I'm on help number 5 in 2 years. The last one used to eat like she was going to war. I bought yam on Monday. By Wednesday, na peel I dey see. Even Shola laughed at that one. Maybe she was fasting backward. They all laughed again. The kind of laughter that only comes from shared frustration and a sprinkle of truth. But beneath Taye's smile was fatigue. She was tired, not just from her job, or her swollen feet, or her son's random fever, but from the constant disappointment. She needed someone, anyone. But trustworthy helps felt like meat these days. That weekend, Taye and her husband Kule had to travel to Ibadan for a friend's naming ceremony. A quiet drive, smooth road, and a baby peacefully napping in the backseat. All seemed calm until they saw her. A girl, maybe in her early 20s, sitting by the roadside, barefoot and crying. Kule, slow down, Taye said, her tone softening. Is that a person? They pulled over cautiously. The girl stood up, clutching her small nylon bag, wiping her face. Auntie, please, I don't have anywhere to go. They chased me from where I was staying. Please. Her voice was cracked, but her eyes were clear. They didn't plan to take her. They just wanted to help. Maybe drop her at a nearby police station or church or something. But something about her story, the calm way she spoke, the way she looked at their son with a gentle familiarity, made Taye hesitate. Let's just let her follow us home for the night. Kule said, we'll figure it out from there. Taye nodded, but a quiet chill passed through her body. The next morning, the house was spotless. Baby baited, clothes ironed, food ready. Taye blinked. Was she dreaming? She wasn't. The girl, Murayo, had done everything unasked. A smile on her face, a quiet, respectful voice, like she was sent from heaven or somewhere else. By the 3rd day, Taye was starting to feel suspicious, not because Murayo had done anything wrong, but because she had done everything too right. The floor sparkled, her kitchen looked like it was competing in a detour advert. Her toddler, Ayotunde, was always clean, well-fed, and somehow, miraculously, no longer crying when she got home. Even the family's troublesome blender, the one Taye had already planned to throw out, was now functioning perfectly. I just cleaned the inside with hot water and salt, ma. Murayo had said, that's what my madam taught me, where I was staying before. Which madam? Taye asked, casually, drawing her hand on a napkin. Murayo paused. They were a family that moved to the UK suddenly. They left me with nothing. I was stranded. Taye said nothing more, but something about the girl's calmness was strange. Not alarming, just polished. Like someone used to managing a home far more complex than theirs. Mariah's trial month officially began. The agreement was simple. If she kept this up, she would stay permanently. Kule wasn't so quick to decide. There's something too smooth about her, he whispered to Taye one night. She never asks questions. She doesn't make mistakes. Even Android phones freezes once in a while. Taye rolled her eyes. You're just paranoid. This one is finally giving me small peace and you want to spoil it. No be spoil, Kunle said. I'm just saying. Observe well. She agreed, but secretly she was already dreaming of handing Morayo a permanent apron. Then the dressing began to change. At first, Morayo's clothes were modest, long, loose-fitted gowns and plain wrappers. But within 2 weeks, things began to hug her figures a little tighter. Not outrageously, but noticeable. Taye didn't think much of it. She barely had time to breathe, talk less of monitor dressing. She left the house before 6 a.m. daily, returned by 6:30 p.m., sometimes 7. And by the time she walked in, Morayo had already changed into her nightwear, soft cotton gowns, hairnet intact, baby fed, kitchen quiet. A dream. It was Kule that started raising his eyebrow. One Saturday, he was in the sitting room, drinking pap and scrolling through his phone when Morayo walked past, wrapper tied, but falling a little too low on the hips. He coughed. Morayo, you fit adjust that wrapper small? She turned and gave a small smile. Ah, sorry sir. One of my aunties gave me this wrapper. She said it's original Abada style. Okay, but he dey low. She nodded, adjusted and walked away. But Kunle's eyes stayed fixed, not on her body, but on the strange confidence in her movement. It wasn't fear. It wasn't caution. It was something else. Later that week, Taye's aunt, Mama Funke, came to visit. As soon as she stepped into the house and saw Morayo, she paused. Who be this one? Taye explained the whole story. Roadside, stranded, pity, trial. Mama Funke did not smile once. I don't like her spirit, she said flatly. Taye chuckled. Auntie abeg, she's been of great help. Too great. That's the problem. You know her background, her full name, her parents, and the family. She says she's an orphan, which orphan fall from sky without even knowing her local government. Taye brushed it off again, though the words settled uneasily in her stomach. That night, after helping her niece pack up old baby clothes, Mama Funke pulled Taye aside. Chase that girl away before she chases your peace. Taye swallowed. Auntie, please, just give me 1 week. You even like the new girl someone is bringing soon. We'll let this one go gently. Mama Funke shook her head. Gentle or not, don't sleep on a snake and expect it to turn into a fish. But by then, it was already too late, because somewhere down the hallway, behind a not quite closed door, Morayo had overheard every single word. For the next few days, Taye moved through her house like someone walking on cracked tiles, careful, but still pretending nothing was wrong. Morayo hadn't told her she overheard anything, but something in the girl's energy had changed. She still cooked, still cleaned, still sang soft Yoruba gospel tunes when bathing Ayotunde, but there was a single urge in her smile, a silence behind her eyes. The same way a dog might wag its tail but show you its teeth at the same time. That was around the same time Auntie Funke's help finally arrived. A quiet girl, smallish, always saying yes ma like it was part of her breathing. They didn't name her Morayo. They just called her the new girl. She moved in on a Thursday afternoon, barely had time to unpack, before Morayo welcomed her with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Then strange things started happening. Little things. Taye came home one evening to find 20,000 naira missing from her emergency drawer. She never kept so much cash at home. but that money was for last-minute baby drugs and delivery pad list. Kule, did you take anything from the drawer? She asked over dinner. Nope. Morayo, she asked casually. Morayo blinked. No ma, I didn't even know you kept money there. They searched, nothing. 3 days later, Kule found it, zipped into the side pockets of the new help's handbag. The new help, the one Auntie Funke brought, was stunned. I swear, I didn't put this there. I don't even know how it got inside. Morayo was nearby, sweeping silently. She didn't even look up. Taye felt something twist in her stomach. Still, she said nothing. The next week, a ceramic plate crashed in the kitchen. When they asked, Morayo said it slipped from the new girl's hands. The new girl said she hadn't even entered the kitchen. Check the trash, ma, Morayo said calmly. They did. The shreds were there, covered with the new girl's apron. That night, Kule called Mama Funke. This girl you brought, is it possible she's being framed? Mama Funke didn't hesitate. I've been suspecting that serpent since day one. Should we confront her? No, watch her. Snake will never strike, go still dance. But the next morning, Taye snapped. She had walked into the room and found Ayotunde's milk tin, almost empty. When she asked who had given him an extra bottle, Morayo smiled. I thought you said I should make sure he feeds well. On 2 full tins in one day. As they argued, the new girl tiptoed in holding a broken wristwatch Taye had kept in her drawer for repair. Ma, did you give me this? Taye stared. Why would I give you that? That was my late father's. The girl's eyes welled. I swear, ma, I just found it inside my bucket. That was the last straw. Taye called her aunt and begged her to return. They gathered in the living room. Morayo stood beside the wall, arms crossed, face unreadable. The new girl stood near the sofa trembling. You! What's going on here? Mama Funke's voice was firm. The girl cried, Ma, I swear, I didn't do these things. I don't know how the money entered my bag. I don't know how that plate broke. And that wristwatch, God in heaven knows, I've never entered that drawer. Morayo scoffed quietly. Mama Funke turned sharply. You? Don't try me. Look me in the eyes. You planted those things, didn't you? Morayo's smile flickered. Auntie, I don't understand. You understand very well. You've been trying to set this girl up. But why? Taye and Kule sat quietly, confused, embarrassed, shocked. Morayo's eyes slowly drifted to Mama Funke's face. That look again. That slow, cold stare. The kind that could freeze fire. Stop looking at me like that, Mama Funke said, adjusting her blouse. I'm not looking at you anyway, ma. Morayo replied softly now, but the damage had been done. After the room emptied, Kule and Taye sat together. I think your auntie is right, Kule said. Let's get her out, peacefully. But how? We'll find her a job, a proper one, somewhere she'll earn salary. We will stand as her guarantor. Let her just leave this house, Taye signed. Let's give it till Saturday. That's 1 week. Let's sort it out well. But behind the hall curtains, Morayo had heard every single word. Again. The next morning felt colder than usual. Even though the sun was up, the house felt darker. Morayo was unusually quiet, not in the submissive, gentle way she used to be, but in that calculative silence that makes you look over your shoulder. She still swept, still cooked, but her eyes, those eyes that once carried a spark of gratitude, now held a stillness that made even Taye's heart beat faster when they locked gaze. By afternoon, Ayontunde started crying uncontrollably. Not his usual hunger cry or sleepy whine. This one was different. The kind that came with a flushed face, hot body, and panic. He has a fever, Kule said, lifting him. The baby clung to him as if trying to escape something unseen. They gave him syrup, sponged him down, but every time they handed him to Morayo, he wailed. When the new girl tried, he calmed. They noticed, but no one said anything yet. Then came the first injury, a bruise on the baby's arm, fresh, tender, and oddly shaped, like the edge of a stool. What happened? Taye asked Morayo. He was crawling and slipped, she said flatly without flinching. But he doesn't crawl near that chair. Children are fast, ma. Baby cried again that night, loud, confused, feverish. This time they took him to the hospital. The doctor looked concerned. Was he dropped recently? This swelling looks like blunt force trauma. God forbid, Taye whispered. They didn't say more. Kunle's face tightened. The signs were adding up. The next day, the new girl's toothbrush was found, snapped into two. The girl swore she didn't touch it. She also started waking up to find things moved. Her bucket empty, her pillow wet. Somebody is disturbing me spiritually, she said, shaking. Ma, I don't want to sleep here again. Taye's head was pounding. The house was becoming a war zone, but only she and Kule could still see. On Thursday, after another strange noise woke them up at 2 a.m., Kule turned to his wife and said, Saturday is too far. Taye nodded. But by Friday evening, it was too late. They returned from work around 6:45 p.m. There was no baby laughter, no clinging of pots, just one voice. The new girl, crying, panicking, running up and down the house. Auntie, uncle, she's not back. She left with Ayotunde this morning. She said you asked her to take him for immunization. But she hasn't come back. I've been calling, she's not picking. What immunization? Taye screamed. He has no appointment this week. They tried her number, switched off. They tried again, switched off. Taye felt the room spin. She dropped her bag and screamed. Kule was already outside, running to the security post. Ayotunde, Ayotunde. The guards hadn't seen her leave. No one did. The only clue left behind was Ayotunde's favorite rattle abandoned on the floor. By 7:30 p.m., their compound was chaos. Taye was screaming into her phone, redialing Morel's number like it owed her blood. Kule was pacing the sitting room, one hand on his head, the other punching the air. Where did she take him? Where could she have taken my son? The new girl sat on the floor, weeping and shaking. Uncle, auntie, I swear, she said you told her to go for immunization. She said she'll be back. Please believe me. Ayotunde, Taye cried out again, collapsing to the floor. My baby. 9:15 p.m., no update, no messages. 10:47 p.m., Kule called Mama Funke. She didn't pick the first time. When she did, it was a voice filled with knowing. Funke, she's gone. She took Ayotunde. The line was quiet. Then, I warned you. 11:38 p.m., Kule called his contact in the US. Thank God for his job. His company had ties with the American security consultant. And because Ayotunde was a US citizen born during Taye's trip, the situation could be flagged as a cross-national emergency. They swung into action immediately. Contacts were made, emails sent, phones began to buzz. Still, no sign of Morayo. 6:13 a.m. the next day, Taye's phone beeped. New message. It wasn't a normal text. It was a voice note. She played it with trembling hands. A slow, confident voice filled the air. Unmistakably, Morayo's. Good morning, Mommy and Daddy. I hope you slept well. Your son did. He's fine for now. But if you want to see him again, bring 20 million naira. If I don't receive it before Sunday, I will sell him to the highest bidder. No police, no tricks, or your baby becomes a memory. Taye collapsed. Kule grabbed the phone and replayed it. What? Sell? Ayotunde? The next 2 hours blurred. Screaming, collapsing. Mafunke rushing over, tying her wrapper angrily. I warned you. I warned you with everything I had, she shouted. You house people these days. You don't listen with your heart anymore. You listen with tiredness. Taye tried to explain. They were going to offer her a job. They just needed 2 more days. She must have overheard us, Kule said bitterly. That night when we were in the sitting room, she was always listening. Later that day, the police got involved, even though the message said, no police. Kule wasn't having it. This was his first child. And thanks to the citizenship, The American embassy had officially joined the case, though through forensic tracking, the voice note was traced to an unregistered SIM. They began scanning known criminal patterns. Data started flowing in. By evening, something huge broke. Muriel was not alone. She was part of a trafficking syndicate, one that had been planting perfect house helps in homes across the country, especially in urban cities. Their goal: seduce the husband, gain the family's trust, and either milk or steal. Ayotunde's case matched others. They were close, but not yet there. That night, Taye didn't sleep. Kule sat beside her on the floor, both holding hands, silent, empty, waiting, and praying that somewhere, their child was still alive. The house was quiet, too quiet. Even Ayotunde's toys, the ones that used to make noise with every footsteps, looked abandoned, like they too were mourning. Taye stared at her phone screen, waiting for a second message. Nothing. Just the same cold voice note from Murayo, still replaying in her head like a cursed ringtone. Bring 20 million, or said goodbye. Kule hadn't shaved in 2 days. He stopped eating. His entire focus was on coordinating with the US investigator and Nigerian police. They narrowed it down. He told Taye on Saturday morning they believe she's in a property in the outskirts of Ibadan, unregistered compound, same area tied to 2 other missing child reports in the last 8 months. Is he there? Taye whispered, eyes hollow. We don't know, but we are closing in. By Saturday evening, the sting operation was ready. Federal officers, plainclothes agents, even a few US licensed officers were embedded in task force, not just because of Ayotunde, but because the syndicate had touched multiple countries through visa and child trafficking links. It wasn't just Morayo, it was a network. 10:45 p.m., a black van pulled up quietly in front of a gated compound, surrounded by thick bush. No signboard, no camera, no lights. Silent hand signals were given. 3 men sealed the back. 2 more picked the lock. And within 3 minutes, they were in. The arrest happened fast. 3 women, 2 men, 4 children, including one with an American passport. Ayotunde Kule Olayinka. He was asleep, tucked into a small mattress with a teddy bear someone else had bought for him. Unharmed, but visibly shaking when he was carried out. Morayo didn't struggle when they cuffed her. She just smiled, a long, tired smile, almost victorious. You people are always late, she said quietly. At the station, she refused to say anything for hours, but the investigation had already exposed enough. Her real name wasn't Morayo. She has been arrested before, under another name, but released due to lack of evidence. She was the entry girl, the one who got close, gained trust, and set up the rest of the syndicate. Once the family was vulnerable, they would either sleep with the husband and blackmail him monthly, use access to hack bank apps and personal data, or steal the child and sell to buyers abroad. In Ayotunde's case, she had attempted all 3. The next morning, Kule and Taye were reunited with their son. Taye couldn't stop crying. She held him like a mother clutching her only lifeline. The police tested everyone in the house for safety. Ayotunde was fine, unharmed. The media picked it up. Headlines flew. Trafficking ring busted in Ibadan. House help syndicate exposed after baby rescue. Family narrowly escapes nightmare. At court, Morayo and others were arraigned on multiple counts: child endangerment, human trafficking, fraud, identity manipulation, intent to exploit. They were denied bail. The court was filled with whispers. She looked so gentle. I heard she never raised her voice. She used to cook, but na devil dey inside. Back at home, silence returned. Not the heavy kind, but the peaceful one. Taye sat with Mama Funke in the living room, both holding Ayotunde. The auntie sighed. I no be prophet. I just know evil when I feel it. I should have listened, Taye said, voice crackling. But you survived, Funke said. That's all that matters. Weeks passed. The house was quieter now. Not because Ayotunde stopped crying, but because the air was different. Safe, clean, whole. Tai and Kule stopped looking over their shoulders. They slept better. They smiled more. Ayotunde recovered fully. His giggling returned, and so did the peace they thought they had lost forever. The new girl, the one Auntie Funke had introduced, stayed on briefly, but Tai later said, "No more helps. Not now. Maybe not ever." Even when Auntie Funke tried to convince her, "This one is tested and trusted," Tai gently replied, "Auntie, I've been tested too, and I'm tired." Kule agreed. "I'll support her. Weekends, weekdays, night runs. We'll carry this home together." They didn't need perfection anymore. They needed peace, and they finally had it. The end. Some of the lessons to be learned from this story are: never ignore red flags, no matter how helpful someone seems. Desperation should never replace due diligence. Not every burden requires outsourcing. Sometimes unity is a real solution. Spiritual sensitivity is still relevant. Don't mock the warnings of the discerning. I hope you enjoyed this wonderful story. Please don't forget to like, share, click on the subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so you'll be first to know when I drop a new story. And I will see you in the next one, my loves. Till then, bye. Mwah.
Thank you so much for watching till the end. Please click on the subscribe button to support us, turn on the post notification to get notified when I upload a new story, like, share, and comment your thoughts. Till then, bye.